What's up, everybody? This is Jesse Lee, and this is your Klaviyo email marketing tutorial part 5A. And in this part, we're going to be talking about how to create your first sign-up form. This is super exciting, all right? Now, keep in mind, this is multiple parts. There are 6 parts to this whole shebang, and in each of these parts, there are some sub-videos, like 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. So if you are watching this and you haven't watched these, you're going to be confused because I'm tying this in with what I did in these past videos, especially video number 4. You got to go check out the Welcome Flow series because this sign-up form, the way we trigger the Welcome series is directly related, so it's not going to make sense unless you check out that video. So the whole guide, I'm going to link that all in the description below. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this, creating sign-up forms. All right. So if you remember in the last video, we created a welcome flow, and it was this welcome series demo 2, right? So this is freezing on me, so I open this in a new window so it can have time to load. But if you remember correctly, we had this one was triggered by when somebody got added to this master list. Now we added a filter. I'm going to just take this filter off right now just so we can talk about that. But basically your master list will trigger this, right? Oh, oops, I didn't hit the save button. Boom. Okay. So anytime somebody's added to this master list, that's going to trigger this welcome series. All right. So if you have a 10% off coupon, you want to make a form with a 10% off code. Right. So let's come over here into, now we're going to create the sign up form. Let's create the sign up form here. As you can see, I already have a couple published, but I want to show you how to do this from scratch. So we're going to actually hit create sign up form. Now you can build this from scratch, which is totally fine. But Klaviyo does already have a lot of nice little forms here. So we're going to just grab one of these. We'll do this. Unlock 20% off your first order. I like this one. Let's use this. It's a pop-up. There are 3 different styles. A pop-up, a embed, and a, what would you call it? A flyout. All right. Now, remember the welcome series, right? This master list, that's what's triggering this welcome flow. Well, when somebody signs up for this on this pop-up, we want it to trigger that. So that's where we actually choose this subscribe list is we say, okay, let's put them on master list. Now, when we do that, it's going to trigger that flow. All right, so let's create the form here. And as you can see, you got this nice design. Now, in terms of the editing of the design, there's all sorts of little things here. The image you can obviously replace if you got your own image. Follow the image sizing. Klaviyo Help Center will tell you about the image sizing. But yeah, as you can see, this is importing some things from my own store. So I'll select one of these images. Mine was coffee, right? Even though I have golden retrievers on my main store. Go figure. Yeah, I have, by the way, a few different test accounts. That's why you see all this stuff. So yeah, actually I don't like that photo. Let's go ahead and choose this other coffee one. Replace. Let's do it with this. There we go. I like that better. All right. Now, in terms of the text, you can edit that here. Obviously, just click on the box here, and then the editor is on the side. And this is where you would change your font, your sizing, all this stuff. Let's highlight all this. I like actually... which is the one I like. I can't remember what it's called, so I'm just going to leave it. Oh, Poppins. That's the one I like. I like Poppins. I don't know why it's so pleasant, right? Just look at it. Look at that Poppins. All right. Now, as you can see, there's the email field here. And as you can see up top, we also have the steps. So we'll talk about the steps in a moment. But here, the button here that says Unlock Offer, right? So this is the thing. When they hit this, they're going to be added to the list. And as you can see, when I select this, this has already added them to the master list, which is pretty cool, right? And then when they hit, you have to choose what action you want to take after they hit this button. What's going to happen is you have the option to show next step, go to URL, or close the form. So you can just close it right away. You could show the next step, or you could redirect to a URL like a hidden page or something like that, right? But if you wanted to, if it's a general... now there's a whole, there's a whole practice on, especially if you're using Shopify, doing unique codes that are sent through email. But if you just have a general, like 20% off coupon, you can put it on the success message here. Otherwise, you would just say something like, check your email, right? Check yo email. Exclamation point. To receive your 20% off coupon. All right, so that's the basics of how you edit, right? Now, what else do we want to cover? There's a few things. There's a few things right here on the email opt-in. Again, you can select a different URL. Now, there are things that you can do in terms of building more onto this form, right? So if you wanted to, you could collect people's cell phone numbers, right? So you could click this, drag this in. If you're doing this, you got to make sure your terms and services are updated. I have a whole series on SMS, by the way. You should check that out on my channel if you're interested in this. We do the same thing in that tutorial series that we do in this one, where it's just like boom, 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 content, one after the other. All right, so you'd link your terms of service in here if you want to do that. But look at what happens if somebody gets here and they see this and they might be a little bit scared, right? Because, SMS, it's a bit more of a commitment than just email. Well, you can actually go into the placeholder text and select optional. Just type that out, and then people will see, as you can see in there, now they know it's optional, and they'll just say, oh, okay, I can just fill out the email. Now, how do you make it optional or not optional? It's this required button here. So if you have required checked off, you should probably take off optional. But we'll leave that off. The other thing you could do is, if you did not want to have this on the same step, you could add your SMS step after this. Boom. Right? And then you would choose your subscriber list. Now, I have master list. I also have SMS subscribers. We talked about my theory on different lists. I normally like to keep 1 or 2 main lists. I'll go ahead and put this on the second list and add, right? So there's my SMS step. You'd actually add your image there and everything. Now, let's say you want to add a third step where you ask for their birthday. You could add this profile information. And you could say profile info, enter your date. You could also, you can make these radio buttons. There's all sorts of things you can do on here. If you didn't want to make it birthday, you could say, put these radio buttons and say, what's your favorite color? All right. And then we'll leave that exclamation point like we're yelling at them. All right. And then you would come in here and select, the label. And you could do, let's say, yellow or green. And then the value you'd select, you'd have to create it, right? And this would be yellow. And the reason you do this, why would you do this? Boom, create option, and then green. It's because if you have yellow and green products, like in my store, check it out. Let me go back to best deals. I have, this shirt has yellow on it. This shirt has green, right? So if I wanted to target somebody who wanted something with some green on their shirt, I'd be able to actually come into Klaviyo and create a segment based on people whose favorite colors are green or yellow and segment accordingly. And so if I did that, I would get rid of this date. So just keep in mind, there's so many things you can do with these sign-up forms. They're absolutely insane. So you've got text input, you've got multi checkboxes, radio buttons. Actually, if I was going to do this, I would say radio buttons. I would do the yellow and green here, not the maybe they like both, right? So there are just so many different things that you could do with this. It's absolutely insane. Klaviyo is like so freaking powerful. That's basically how you do your sign up form. But notice, I want to show you one more thing on the SMS side. If you are creating something where people are going to a list or a segment a different list, like an SMS list, you may or may not want to have SMS in your welcome series, right? Now, later on, SMS is a whole nother ball of yarn, so please check my SMS videos out. I'll leave those maybe in the description, or you just find them on my YouTube channel. There's a whole playlist. But you'd actually create anybody who came through this form, which we'll talk about how to segment, right, would get, if they're signing up for email and SMS at the same time, right? Boom, boom. one right after the other, you'd put that SMS in here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to throw this SMS in here. And let's say it takes them a little bit. They're going to lollygag around and they want to take a few minutes to decide if they want to actually be on the SMS list. So I'm going to say we're going to configure a 3-minute delay here. Save that. And then we're going to clone both of these. You can go and do the copywriting on your own time. I just want to show you the basic flow function. Right? So this flow is set up to receive anybody who comes through here, but that's not the only thing we need to do. Right? We can do that and it will work, but later on, let's say we create an SMS only form, right? That targets people who are already signed up for your email list. I've got a whole video on this too that you should check out because there's some really advanced stuff that you can do here. But for this one, what you'd want to do is actually filter by this this form ID. And where do you find the form ID? You find it up here, klaviyo.com/forms. You see here, there's a 6-digit number or letter or code thing. We'd copy that. Now, this might be 26 digits. It's either 6 or 26. But just know it's right after that /forms. All Klaviyo properties have these, everything. You see flows have it too. It's got a 6-digit ID. Campaigns have it. Campaigns are now 26. So yeah, if you wanted to kick this off, because again, I'd mentioned this in the last video, if you wanted to kick this off, let's say this is a form that's specific to Black Friday, and I only publish it for 2 or 3 days. But later, I want to be able to create segments based on people who opted in for this form. What I can come in and do is, in here, I could filter out, add a flow filter, and we're going to choose properties about someone. And I know we did this in the last video, but I want to show you something else I didn't show you in the last video. So, and this is really cool. So select dimension, and we're going to choose consent form ID, and we're going to say equals, and it should autofill if this is live, which it might not autofill. It should okay, yeah, it's because I haven't published it yet. But what we'll do right now is we're going to copy this and just paste it here. Boom. All right. So if this form was, like I said, for Black Friday or something, then this welcome series, we could trigger it just for Black Friday. We could name it the Black Friday opt-in form. All right. Now, one last thing I want to mention about welcome forms is you might not be done with them yet. Maybe, again, thinking about this Black Friday thing, let's say you want to be able to email people that came in on Black Friday. And they came in or for a specific coupon, and so you don't want to, or maybe they came in for a specific, maybe you don't have a coupon, maybe you have a special free ebook that you're giving them. And maybe you want to segment people who like purchased opted in for that free ebook or something like that. If for any reason you want to target people who came in through this form, what you do is you grab the same ID, right? Well, let's go back in here. Let's go into lists and segments now. Now we can create a list or segment. Well, it would be a segment, all right? Now, I did already, let me open another new window here. I want to talk to you, there is a form that I created called the Black Friday form. Black Friday form here, this is Black Friday form 2. So that one's live. Let's see, let's use this. This ID is WWDZ2A. So anything that comes through this form on Black Friday, I want to be able to target them later on because maybe I know that they got a specific deal with this, right? So we're going to say people who opted into form Black Friday, what did I call it? Form 2. Form 2. Right? Now, you can come here to definition, grab your definition. We're going to say properties about someone again, and we'll filter by the same consent form ID. Isn't this amazing stuff? I hope you guys are like freaking amazed by this. This is so powerful. And then we're going to say equals. Again, it should autofill. Boom. Did it autofill? WW. No, this one didn't autofill for some reason. So we'll just have to paste it. I think it's because nobody's opted in through it yet. That's what has to happen is you actually have to have an opt-in through it. So yeah, but this will be targeting people who opt in through this form. So let's hit create segment. Now, if I'm running a Black Friday deal for one specific thing and they get on my list for that thing, like I said, if it's a free ebook, then I can target people who I know have gone through that free ebook or at least downloaded it based on the fact that they've done that. So this is, I realize this gets a little bit beyond the sign up form, but I wanted to give you a bunch of awesome information. We're at 15 minutes now. So again, this video is on creating sign up forms. If you have any questions on this, please post the question down below in the comments and I will answer. I will probably even create a special video for you and probably even give you a shout out. All right, so for the next video though, you're going to click here in the lower right hand corner. If you want this full playlist because you want to see the other videos, that's going to be at the top here. You can start from the beginning and go through this whole thing, or click down below here in the bottom right hand corner to see the next video. All right, you all have a wonderful day and I'll see you all in the next video.